Hello there. In this video, we will be seeing about math and comments in Java. So let me open the one compiler that we always use to run our program of Java. So as you can see, it has automatically over here a template of a simple program that gives a date. So let me remove that and just have the hello world class over here. So let's go to google.com and move to the Java W3 schools. So this is the documentation. Documentation basically means it gives correct information about a thing. See, as you can see, it is a very cool website. It has all the documentation of HTML, CSS, JavaScript and various other programming languages. And so I want to I'm just opening it now so that if I were to refer anything, then I would just go here and see that. So there is something called math over here. Yeah, so I'll not do that now. See, let me just show you a quick example. So I don't know when I started programming, I mean like before I started programming, so I always wondered how calculator works. I mean like how does it multiply things, how does it add two things and write. See, as you can see, 98 plus 3 gives 101. So I've always wondered that how did this happen. So it is basically a program. So the guys who made this calculator wrote a very big program that made this thing. So we can they put this buttons so that when I press that button, it will come over here and then the value will come over here, and when I press equal to, then that will basically add up two things if I write a operator. So we will not make this thing, but I'll show you how it basically works. So now, as we know about data types, I just want you all to give a challenge. I just want you all to create a data type with a variable name A or something, or number 1, and with a variable number 1, and assign 21 to that value. So go ahead and do that now. So I suppose you have done that. If not, then I'll show you. So I want to create a whole number. So let me create a whole number which is a integer. Integer basically means 0, 1, 2, 3, right? Integers. So whole numbers, so it does not contain fractional numbers like 0.1, 0.3. That is another one, that is float. We'll speak about that as we move on forward. So this is an int. So I want to create an integer with a variable. This thing is known as a variable. So this is number 1, and make sure while giving the name of the variable, we cannot start with 1, 2, 3 with numbers. We have to start with a letter, any letter, capital letter or a small letter or anything you'd like. So let me just give it number 1. So I want to assign it to 21. So after every line of program, we are supposed to write semicolon. So let me write that semicolon. So when I press run, nothing will happen because I'm not printing any value over here. So your program did not output anything because I'm not using a print statement to output anything over here. So I hope that makes sense. Now I want you all to do another challenge. So create another variable of number 2 and then assign 31 to it. So I suppose you have done that, and I will just bluntly move forward and write here int number 2 and give 31 to it. So now what this will do is that in this name, this value is stored 21. So further, when I print, I'm using the autocomplete. When I write PRI, as you can see, this is a snippet. So as you can see over here, when I hover my mouse over here, this gives system.out.println. Let me choose that, so that will automatically complete it for me. So this thing can be further used with the 21 variable. So let me do that and show you. number 1. So I'm printing this number 1 over here. So let me run this and show you all. So run without login. So 21 is outputted. Now in this video we'll be making a calculator application, that not this whole calculator which has this thing. This is very hard, and I'm not sure that you all can do, because this is just a basic thing. So now in this calculator, this is a very basic calculator, it will only add 2 numbers. So add, multiply and subtract. So I'll show you how we can do that. So write this print statement. We can always use the autocomplete and write system.out. So .print ln. Okay, let me press Ctrl Z to undo that and write print ln. So now over here I want to write number 1 plus number 2. So when I put semicolon, see the output. So as you can see, it is adding both of these numbers and giving us the output. So yeah, so this is the output. Now similarly we can use minus button to subtract from one number to the other number. So as you can see, it gives an output of -10. Now you might be wondering, integers start from 0 and it is not -1. So it's not like that in this thing. So now if I want to multiply it, I must not use this thing. I'll show you all just in a second. I must not use this X mark. Instead of that, there is a asterisk mark. This is a star symbol, whatever you call it. In Windows, you'll find it when you press Shift and 8. So that will basically multiply 2 numbers. So as you can see, it is executing and it will multiply the values. So now you might be wondering, then this guy is just cheating. This is not a calculator. This is not how it works. So here the user can enter any value he want and then multiply or do anything like this. So I'll show you about that. For that, we have to study about something called Java user input. You can find it in the Java classes section. So Java has some inbuilt methods, so we have to import that method, import the class. So as you can see, it is in the classes section. So the developers of Java, the guys who made Java, they wrote these classes, and we can use these classes whenever we want. So there is a class called user input, where we can ask the user to input something. As you can see, input for the program. So we can use this thing. So I'll show you how we can do that. First we have to import the scanner class. So we are basically scanning. If you know what is a scanner, it takes it is just like it doesn't print out. It takes the image of it scans the image and then puts it on your computer. So similarly, it works in that way. So I hope this makes sense, and let me just copy this thing, or I'll just write it away so that I'll have some practice. So all I have to do is write import. So import is a keyword, so that means import cannot be used to write anything. I cannot use import word over here. So as you can see, this is turned bold, turned its font to bold. So we cannot do that. Let me press undo and yeah, number 1. That's fine. And all we have to do is write Java inside util. So how did I know? I went to the documentation and found out this thing. And always this thing will always start from, every class will always start from the capital letter, scanner, right? Semicolon over here. So I hope the keywords are right, and semicolon over. You have to write a semicolon. And later on, now in this program, we have this package over here. So I can use this scanner. So to use the scanner, let me show you how we can use. Go to the main function and press enter, write scanner. Scanner is the name of the class, as you can see. Scanner is the name of the class, and write anything you want, maybe, so that we are basically creating an object of that. So it is like I'll show you an example over here. So let me just Google it now, and then I'll write something called shapes, not shapes, I'm sorry for that. So when I write shapes, I want to go to the images, and I want this picture image. So as you can see, okay, I don't want to download it anyways. So as you can see, these are the shapes. So there are different types of shapes. So suppose I'm giving you an example. Shape is a class, so all of these things are denoted by class, right? Denoted by shapes. This thing, shapes, when I wrote shapes, I got all of these shapes present in the world. So suppose scanner is a class, and there are different objects to it. See, as you can see, circle is an object, nonagon is an object, wow, and acute is an object, ellipse, right, parallelogram, kite, and there are several objects over here. So they all come under one category, right? There are different names to shapes. So when I see this thing, I'll call it like these are different types of shapes. So in order to, as you can see over here in the documentation, this guy is making an object, my object. So similarly, I am creating an object of scanner class. To create an object, write the name of the class, and I'm writing anything you want, like maybe like Gaurav, or maybe something like Saf, or anything you want like Saf. I'll just write object in order to for the sake of clarity. And to create the object, all we have to do is write new scanner. So we are creating so suppose I've invented a new shape, and I'm creating a new shape with the name of with the name of object. So suppose I've created a new shape with the name of the object. So I've created a new shape with the name of the object. Where is that? Yeah, with the name of the object, and it is equal to a new object. So new shape, so new scanner, new class. This is a class. So I hope that makes sense. And inside it, all we have to do is to write system.in. So as you can see over here, it has system.in. So basically what it does is that it can take values from the system. So this is a system, right? This is a Windows system. So it can take values with that. So what does this object can take values from the system.in. So whatever we input with the keyboard, input devices, right? These are known as input devices like mouse, keyboard, and I don't know what more. So let me just pass in that system with capital system.in. Write a semicolon after everything. So now, as you can see over here, now this object is created. So similarly, this shape is created. Now we can use this shape to make we can use this object to use these methods, use methods inside this class. So I hope that makes sense. And I'll, in similar way, as you can see, I'll just show you with nextend. So reads the int value from the user, this method nextend. So all I have to do is to, so I do not want to hard code it. So let me remove both of this. Let me remove all of the lines from 10 to 8. Now we have created this object, right? Now I will create a new variable. I'll call it number, and I want to assign, when the program is running, I want to input the number. Like if I want to write 56, if I want to write 87, I want the user to put in the values. So I hope just like the calculator. So all I have to do is to write object, not over here, object, this object dot next. As you can see over here, it has next int, so it reads a integer value from the user. So it reads a whole number from the user. So next int. So yeah, I'll just remove this thing. I was just checking out something. So now I will just go ahead and print this thing. I'll just use the snippet that is inside this compiler. When I write print, it basically prints inside in this output console. This is an output, this is an console where we get the output. Similarly in the calculator, I'll show you all. We always have our output video. See, this is an output console, similarly in this way. So yeah, this is the system.out.println. I want to print this number. So let me print this number. And now over here, I can input anything I want. If I write 51, so 51 will automatically assign to this number because we are using this thing, right? Let me run this thing. So this is 51 now. Now if I write something like 87, so let's see, run without login. This is 87, right? I hope that makes sense. And then now I want you to do a very easy challenge. I want you to input two numbers and then add both of these numbers and print the value. So go ahead and do that now. It might be a challenge for you, a strong challenge, but then that's easy. You can always Google, you can always use the documentation, right? So go ahead and do that now. So yeah, if you haven't done that, I'll show you all how to do it. I'll create another variable of any name. I'll simply write any name. You can give any name to the variables, it doesn't really matter. So write equals to and use the object dot next int. So this is object. Yeah, so now I will just add both of these numbers, system.out.print line. So that is printing a line, ln. It's just a shortcut, and then number plus any name. So in the input, all you have to do is write the first thing and this, press enter and write any number you want. So that will basically give the output of both of these numbers. See, as you can see, 54 plus 21 is 75. I hope that's 75 and the computer cannot be wrong. So that is 75. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. And I just want you all to write, we have multiplication asterisk symbol, and write minus, we have division, we have modulo, and there are lots of operators. So that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, we will speak about how to get input in the form of strings. So yeah, till then, goodbye and take care.